bringing you the news and information you need from the people making a difference. This is Comcast Newsmakers.
Hello, and thank you for joining us. I'm Lisa Aprati, and this is Comcast Newsmakers. This hour's newsmaker is Greg Harris, State Representative of the 13th District. Today, we'll be talking about the creation of the Illinois Commission on Children and Youth. State Representative, great to have you back on the program.
Nice to be here, Lisa.
So just recently, you were able to have become the chief sponsor of this piece of legislation that was just signed into law. Tell me the need to focus on creating the Commission for Youth, for the Children and Youth.
Well, in Illinois, I mean, it's very simple. It's been nearly a quarter of a century since the state and all the agencies and private groups that serve our families have taken a comprehensive look at what we're doing. And if you just think about, what's happened in a quarter of a century, I mean, there were no cell phones, there were no computers, there were no social networking websites. The issues of drugs and gang violence were totally different. And so it's time to really reevaluate what services we're providing to our young people.
So really, the commission was started about 22 years ago, but yet a lot needed to be reevaluated.
Right. The commission lapsed, and so it was time to recreate it.
Okay, so when you're talking about providing more information or being able to provide more services, I guess, for the youth for the modern day, tell me a little bit about what you think you'll be working on.
Well, I think we need to bring in not only the service providers, the community organizations, the faith-based groups, to work with all of our government agencies, say, look at where we're spending hundreds of millions of dollars. Are we doing the right things to meet the needs of young people in the city, in the suburbs, in our rural areas, so that we're spending money in the right way and not just repeating the same programs we've repeated for the last 20 years.
So a lot of it, I guess, would also have to pertain to healthcare issues, because you're seeing nowadays a different element show up, like childhood diabetes and things like that, things that children, I guess, maybe 25, 30 years ago never really had to deal with.
Right, and in working with groups like Children's Hospital, which I work with all the time, medically fragile youth, young people who have asthma, diabetes, even those people who now, because of advances in medicine, are surviving childhood illnesses that would have, they would not have survived long ago, now still have to take care of themselves in school and on outings and in groups in ways that, maybe people haven't really addressed. So we have to look at the, medically fragile youth also. So
for this particular commission, who would be on the board?
There will be representatives of community organizations like the Boys and Girls Clubs across Illinois, healthcare providers like Children's Memorial Hospital, faith-based groups. There will be young people from the city, the suburbs, from downstate. There will be parents. There will be heads of major organizations that serve children and heads of organizations that provide funding for children's activities, to take a comprehensive look.
So when do you move forward with this board? When do all the people, come together and be able to take off?
Soon the appointments will be made. The governor makes the appointments along with the leaders of the legislature, and as soon as it's formed, they're charged with beginning to meet and putting together a plan to analyze what we're doing and be sure our resources are being spent wisely.
Now, for you to be the chief sponsor on this piece of legislation, why did you feel that this was so important to move forward with?
Well, I mean, I go to the schools in my community. I go to the Boys and Girls Club. I go to Children's Memorial Hospital, and you see that programs that have been functioning for 15 years are not really meeting kids' needs. You talk to young people and they're saying there really isn't anything out there to help them understand, how to cope in a world with, Facebook and MySpace, and this is how people interact. But they need help understanding how that helps them fit into the broader world, and also how to be very responsible about using it.
Wonderful. State Representative Harris, thank you so much for coming on and talking to us about this new commission that's being developed for Illinois. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you. This hour's newsmaker has been State Representative Greg Harris. I'm Lisa Aprati, and thank you for joining us on this edition of Comcast Newsmakers.
The preceding was a presentation of Comcast Newsmakers. Now back to CNN Headline News.